Today I am doing my alignment myself with toe plates. Alignment is a big, important thing for a track car, and it's something that I have struggled with for a long time, trying to get the car to be in a good alignment to get good lap times. So, getting a shop that understands, more race spec and not just stock alignment settings is difficult. Those are specialty shops. So, I've tried to go to like mom and pop or just like a tire store who has an alignment rack and try to get them to help me out with getting an alignment, and it just hasn't really worked that well. Taking to the everyday kind of tire shop, my experience has been they just don't really understand what I want. They don't understand the aftermarket products I have on here that can adjust camber, so they just don't really get it. I do have a shop somewhat in my area that I could take it to that does real race alignments. They work in the IMSA field, the Rolex series. Those guys know how to do it, but they're about an hour away from me, and I really like doing things myself. I like learning. I don't trust a lot of people with my cars anymore after learning how to do almost everything on these cars. So I decided to spend the money. It's not too much to get these toe plates. A lot of companies make them. This is from Tenhusen. You can see here, they're not sponsoring me. I did buy these, and I spent the extra money to get the kit that has toe alignment and the camber alignment with the gauge, and it can do caster readings, so you can do a caster adjustment. This car, you can't really do any caster adjustments. It's either check it and see if it's in factory specs, or if it's not, then there's something wrong with your suspension component. Something's bent. So I'll probably try to check that sometime. But today I want to do toe and camber alignments. So I'm really excited to get started on that with these. So I'll show you what the kit includes. So you get 2 toe plates, one like this. This has a bracket for your camber gauge. Since I bought the one that has that, you can buy one that's just for toe and caster, but I wanted the camber included. And then there's 2 plates. So you have this here and you have this one here, and then it comes with 2 tape measures to measure the toe, and then it comes with this conversion chart, which is super helpful. So it's an easy kit. You just have to put some stuff together, and but I'm happy with it. It's good construction. So let's get started. I want to make sure that the suspension, if you've had the car up in the air anytime before you do this, make sure that everything is kind of settled. So you want to kind of move the car around, push down on the car to get everything kind of settled back into place. You want to have the e-brake off. You want to have a level surface. Also, I need to check the tire pressures now. Make sure those are even before you get started on everything. And I think that is the basis. So let me go check the tire pressures now. And before I get started, I want to make a little disclaimer, because this seems to come up more often than not. I am not a professional. I am doing this as a DIY thing. I am not giving you this as a tutorial. I'm doing this as to just show you what I'm doing on my car. So it's for entertainment purposes only. I'm not responsible for what you do on your car, or if you copy me and it's not right. I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing. So, take that with a grain of salt. And if you decide to, invest in these toe plates, that's your own doing. So good luck with your cars, but this is what I'm doing on my car. So I evened out all the tire pressures, and then I got the toe plates set up to adjust for the camber. Basically, these little pegs are just screwed in, and you can slide them up and down to get them to match up to the rims of the wheels. And then I put my level on, and then I am actually zeroing it out on the floor, since the floor is flat, and I'm assuming mostly level. And you have to just turn the level around when you go to actually measure the camber. So it looks like almost 3.5 negative degrees camber. And now I'm setting the car up to measure the toe of the front and the rear. Same kind of process, you just move the pegs so they touch the edge of the rim. And you also want to make sure that's level, straight up and down the whole toe plate. And there's a tiny little notch in the middle to center it. Then you take the two tape measures and send them over to the other side. And grab the other toe plate, go to the opposite side of the vehicle where your tape measures are, set that one up against the wheel, make sure it's flat and centered. And then there's notches for the tape measure to slide into. Super helpful, especially when you're doing it by yourself. And then come back to the other side and feed the tape measures into the notches on this side so you can take your measurements. So you want to subtract the measurement from the front of the wheel to the back of the wheel, and that will give you your toe. Got my preliminary readings on the camber and on the toe for both sides. So it's pretty interesting because I have 0 toe all around. That's not even good for stock. You want to have toe in 1/8 of an inch on each side, totaling 1/16 or 0.3 degrees of toe in on a stock car, because that will keep you traveling straight at speed. So this car is not even set up for that. So that's problem number one. For race cars, especially front wheel drive, it's supposed to be good to have some toe out. So 1/8 inch on each side, totaling 1/16 of an inch or 0.30 of toe out will help the car actually rotate. So I have neither one of those on the toe. I think that's why the car is a little wonky and doesn't want to travel straight. So we need to fix that. The camber specs aren't bad. It's generally up front, I have about 4 degrees negative camber up front. The driver side seems to be really close to 4, and the passenger side seems to be a little bit less, more towards 3. And then the rears are pretty close to -2 degrees camber. I think I want to keep the rears around -2, and I want the fronts to be more around 3. You know, getting these numbers exact is actually really hard according to the toe plate manufacturer. So like 0.5 of a degree off, they said, is within spec. I'm going to try to get it as close to 3 up front, -3 up front, and -2 in the back. So yeah, so now I got to do the hard part about this, because the only thing about doing this yourself is that the car is on the ground, so I can't adjust everything without jacking the car up. But I have to jack the car up, do adjustments, put it back down on the ground, then measure it again. So it's a time-consuming process that I have to take. That just goes with DIY. I think maybe what I can do in the future is maybe build some kind of step stools for the wheels, basically to just lift the car off the ground. Maybe some wood risers to drive the car up on. It'll still be at ride height, but the car will be further up off the ground so I can get under there without jacking it up. I'm going to adjust the camber first, and I'm going to adjust the toe. So with an aftermarket camber arm like this, you have to loosen the bolts or the nuts. You can thread the middle part either camber in, which is this way towards the car, or camber out, which is this way. I want a little bit camber out on this because it's a little bit too far in, so I'm going to come this way. All right, so I got the rear camber all set. It's at -2 degrees on the passenger side, and it's at -1.95 on the driver's side, and I am okay with that. That is very, very close to each other. So they are, in my opinion, both negative 2 degrees of camber. So now I'm gonna move up front. This wheel on this side is negative 3.75. So I want to bring it a little more camber out to closer to 3 degrees camber. All right, so inside, when you have aftermarket camber arms like I do, these are the 4 bolts. They're hex bolts, and you loosen those, and then you pull the plate out, camber out, and then push it in. That's more camber in. So I'm just gonna loosen these and bring it out just a little bit, give it less camber on this side. Camber is set. I have about 3.2 degrees negative of camber up front, and I have just about 2 degrees negative camber in the rear. I'm really happy with how easy it was to get the camber set on front and rear and get it to where I wanted it. It really did not take much time at all. I think I had the settings pretty close before, but I just needed to fine tune them. Now the next part I think is gonna be a little bit more difficult, adjusting the toe, because it's just a little bit more of a process. I do think I have a step up because the car is zeroed out all the way around. So everything is straight and true. So I need to go ahead and decide, what I want to do. And I think I thought about it, and since I'm going to the track next weekend and then going in November, I want to go to Honda stock specs for this weekend's trip. I'm going to see how it goes this time around, and then I'm going to see if I want to change it to a more race setting where you have toe out instead of toe in. So right now I'm going to actually do 1/16 toe in front and rear, and that is stock Honda settings for these cars. So I'm going to do that and get it ready. So this is your toe adjustment arm. Connects to the trailing arm, which is right here. What you're basically adjusting is this bolt here. You can see there are notches to help with positioning. And actually, what is really cool about the rear is you can measure exactly how much toe you need here, and that will translate to the toe on the wheel. So I need an 1/8" toe here, as well as on the opposite side, and that will equal 1/16. I will mark where it's at now, and then I will go ahead and adjust it a 1/8 inch in so I can get some toe in, and then I'll go ahead and go on to the other side and do the same, and that should give me total of 1/16 toe in. Show the fronts because it's really difficult to film. So you just loosen this nut here at the end of your tie rod, and then you can turn the tie rod in or out to give you the proper toe adjustment. So that is it. The alignment is set. 1/16 of an inch toe in up front, and the same in the rear, toe in the rear, and that is OEM Honda specs, and the car feels great. I just took it out to the firm last Saturday, the 6th of October, and I'm super happy with how the car is right now. I think it's felt the best that it did last weekend, and that's with my alignment with the camber settings that I have. I got my fastest lap time and that I've had at the firm, so I'm really happy with this setup right now. I will make a video soon of that track day. It was me and Dusan was out there. Robbie came out as well to just hang out. His car is not currently ready, but we are going to go back to the track November 17th. We're going to be back at the firm, and we're going to try our hardest to get Robbie's car out there. His car is running. We got it running 2 weeks ago, and the Y80 is running in his car. Just a little bit, lots of little things to button up for him. But November, it's going to be me, Dusan, Juan with his CRX, and Robbie with his EG. We are all going to be out the firm as long as there's no hurricanes. So yeah, super pumped. New video from the track day will be coming up soon. And thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to our channel. And I want to thank all of you for watching. We just hit 20,000 subscribers. Holy cow. Thanks so much for supporting us and just watching the videos. That's what really helps. And if you want to buy some stickers, you can get that red one at our website. Thanks so much. See you guys soon.